Alright, let's get virtual. The whole AI idol thing is something that I have wanted to talk about in detail for a while now, but have been holding off on, hoping that we'd get more behind the scenes content, or at least an explanation from the animators as to how exactly all the inner parts are working. But alas, nothing like that has happened yet, and the longer they're here, the more shit they get, so I'm here to hopefully spread some positivity and maybe even clear up a few misconceptions that I think people have about these groups as well. Please buckle your seatbelts and get ready for the ride. Alright, let's start with Mave since they're the newest to the scene. Mave is a 4-member virtual idol group created by Metaverse Entertainment in collaboration with Kakao. Metaverse Entertainment is a subsidiary of Netmarble Games. The company was founded in 2021 specifically for the development of digital human production, virtual idol management, and VFX business. They've also helped to host other virtual idols like Rina. In other words, despite being an entertainment company that hosts idols, they don't have anything to do with real people, be that idols or trainees. This company was specifically created to expand on their skills as developers and also likely to get Netmarble's name out there a little bit more while still advancing their technology. One of the arguments I see a lot against these idols is usually something along the lines of, if I had worked for years to debut only to be replaced by a robot, I'd be pissed. But that just isn't what is happening here. There are no trainees under this company. The girls that are singing and dancing for Mave are more than likely hired professionals that have been hired outside the company for this purpose. It's not as if the company is hiding a bunch of young girls behind CGI because they don't think they're good or pretty enough. This was the plan from the very beginning, and everyone involved knew exactly what was going on and how it would play out.
Yeah.
Okay, on to Superkind, who admittedly have a longer and more complicated backstory. Superkind is a now 7-member boy group that debuted under Deep Studio Entertainment on June 20th, 2022, who also has a virtual idol concept, this time with the added layer of real people as well. As of now, there are 5 human members as well as 2 virtual members, although the ending result of the group is supposed to be 10 members evened out to 5 and 5. Deep Studio has an interesting history, as despite stating that the company was originally created for this project, their earlier years led to no indication that this was the direction that the company would choose to go in. They had over a dozen female trainees promoted to the public weekly through social media and even allowed for many of these trainees to interact with their fans through the Yours project. Some of the members of Superkind were also involved in this, though it was mostly the female trainees that were garnering attention. However, by late 2021, all of these trainees had left the company, and it was announced that the Yours project would officially commence with the debut of Superkind that next year. And despite the mess that the Yours project was, it's clear that this was a passion project for these creators. I mean, these guys look amazing. Up close, you can hardly even tell they're not real. Everything about them feels like a homage to K-pop as a whole, and I've never once got the feeling that they're trying to step on people's toes here. I also think the creators of both of these groups have a great sense of humor about this whole thing. I mean, only somebody that loves what they're doing would take the time and effort to respond to a dating rumor for virtual idols. It's ridiculous, but it's fun, and I hope they enjoy some of the jokes like I do. While it can be frustrating seeing so many people talk shit on these projects just to do it, I'm not even gonna pretend like the Unplugged Seijen jokes weren't freaking hilarious. And I'd like to think that everyone actually involved in this project thinks the same. It's clear to me, at least, that they are having fun while doing this.
His smile was one of those rare smiles that you may come across for.
That being said, it's also far from perfect, and I think they recognize this better than anyone. Animation has come a long ways over the years, and CGI especially has been a point of interest for the last couple of years, but it's so far from perfect that it's not even funny. Hell, I'd say a normal K-pop group is closer to perfect than this, so I guess I just never really understood the argument that they'll exceed expectations and make it harder for normal people to make it. If you really pay attention, there are parts that are still really buggy. The uncanny valley effect is definitely still there in some places, and for as pretty as they are, I just don't see how they could compare to real people. I mean, half the reason Seijen was so talked about was because of his resemblance to other idols. I think there's a new market slowly forming here, but I I think it's different from what both Vocaloid and KDA had, and I also don't think K-pop is going to benefit or suffer from it either. I think they will just coexist beside each other without ever venturing too far into each other's territory. I'm not at all saying you have to be in love with the idea of virtual idols, but I do think it's important to recognize that just because we can't see them doesn't mean there aren't dozens of people putting their blood, sweat, and tears into this project. This isn't a get out of jail free card. It takes just as much time and effort to plan and execute these things. I think the argument that I hate most of all against these groups is that they can work 24/7 and never get tired when it probably takes twice as long to animate and fine-tune and just plan everything, more so than a normal K-pop comeback would take at least. There's still real people here behind everything, and I guess I just never understood how something could be perfect when the people that created these things aren't themselves. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, travelers.